Okay, let's dig into this. We've been seeing something pretty interesting. Over 1 million people actually running these like serious AI models right on their laptops.
Yeah, it's a huge number. They're basically saying, look, we want the power, something like ChatGPT, but we absolutely do not want it running somewhere else, in the cloud.
Huh.
Privacy is key.
Exactly. No cloud connection, none of those privacy worries. And that brings us to local AI, which is where two big names keep popping up, LM Studio and Anything LLM.
Right. They both promise that cloud-free power, but they go about it really differently, different philosophies almost.
Yeah.
So today, we want to kind of unpack those differences and maybe reveal something surprising about how they actually connect.
Okay, let's start with LM Studio because, wow, the first thing you notice is just how polished it is. Simple.
Totally. It's all about getting you up and running with models with like zero fuss, the interface, the GUI. It looks really professional, like commercial software.
And getting models is easy, right? Like one click.
Uh-huh. One click for, well, thousands of different open models straight from Hugging Face. You want Llama, Mistral, whatever's new this week.
Click, download chat. Within minutes.
Pretty much. It's super beginner friendly in that sense. But it's not just about running the models easily. It also has this really useful technical bit, a local server that mimics the OpenAI API.
Okay. So why is that important?
Well, it means if you have other tools or scripts that are built to talk to OpenAI, they can talk to your local setup using LM Studio exactly the same way. No big changes needed. Super convenient for developers or power users.
Right. Plug and play for existing stuff. Makes sense. All about ease of use, optimization. So LM Studio is the simple, polished path. What about anything LLM then? What's its angle?
Anything LLM, well, it takes a different approach. It's less about just running the model and more about what you do with it. Interaction, workflow.
Okay, like features.
Yeah, it's feature-rich, especially focused on interacting with your own documents. It has strong RAG capabilities built in.
RAG, right? Retrieval augmented generation. So it can read my stuff, my PDFs, notes, whatever.
Exactly. You feed it your private documents, it indexes them, and then you can have conversations about that specific information. It really understands your context. Plus, it supports things like multi-user workspaces for teams, and even AI agents for more complex tasks.
Multi-user. So people can collaborate using a local setup.
Potentially, yeah, depending on how it's deployed. And the desktop version, it gives you all that functionality, totally free.
Okay, free, powerful, document-focused.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets kind of tricky, right? The whole privacy thing. We started by saying people want local AI for privacy. But LM Studio, it's closed source, isn't it?
It is, and that's the paradox, isn't it? For a tool that people choose specifically for privacy and security.
You can't actually look under the hood.
Mm.
You just have to trust the developers that it's doing what they say it's doing. And only what they say.
Precisely. You're taking their word for it regarding your data security. There's no way for you or anyone else to independently verify their claims by looking at the source code.
Whereas anything LLM that's open source.
Correct. MIT license. Fully open source, which means total transparency. Anyone, any developer, any security researcher, you yourself can go line by line through the code and see exactly how it handles data, where things go, if anywhere.
So it's verifiable trust versus assumed trust. That seems like a huge difference when security is the main driver.
It's fundamental, yeah. So if you boil it down, LM Studio wins for sheer simplicity, getting models running instantly, zero config headaches, truly plug-and-play testing.
And anything LLM wins for the advanced stuff, chatting with documents, building knowledge bases, team features, and that verifiable open source trust.
Right. Things LM Studio doesn't really try to do, but here's the kicker.
Okay.
They aren't necessarily competitors you have to choose between. Power users have figured something out.
Oh, so you don't have to pick one.
Not at all. They're actually complementary. Think of them as layers of infrastructure. You can actually set up anything LLM to use LM Studio as its engine, as its LLM provider on the back end.
Wait, really? So LM Studio handles running the model efficiently on my machine.
Leveraging its optimization and easy model management.
And then anything LLM layers its features on top. The document chat, the workspaces, the agents, the verifiable code.
Exactly. You use LM Studio for what it's best at running the core model, and anything LLM for what it's best at the advanced interaction and workflow layer.
Huh. So you get the best of both worlds. The easy setup and the powerful, trustworthy features. No compromise needed.
That's the optimal solution many are finding. Combine them.
Okay, that's actually a really neat outcome. You get simplicity and power and verifiable trust.
It really brings it together. And, it leaves us with a final thought, something for you to really chew on. If open source code is fundamentally the only way we can truly guarantee and audit privacy in these local AI tools,
Hmm.
what does that imply about closed source proprietary software in the long run, especially in fields where security and privacy aren't just nice to haves,
Hmm.
but absolutely critical?
Yeah. What does that mean for the future? Something to think about.